Buddhism is a religion or philosophy that does not involve any god. It is focused on your own well-being. The goal of the religion is to find enlightenment in oneself. Enlightenment is when one's mind is calm and at peace. Our normal mind is always thinking of different things all at the same time and never really focused on what we are really doing. Us as humans always want something, but it always ends in your own or someone else's suffering. To find enlightenment, many people meditate or focus on only one thing at a time, which calms the mind down, and is ultimately the goal to enlightenment and Buddhism. Buddhism has some guidelines in which are not for the pleasing of a god as such, but for the benefit of yourself. These guidelines include not drinking alcohol, not harming nature, and not harming others, and especially yourself in any way.
Shinto, the way of the god, is the indigenous faith of the Japanese people and is as old as Japan itself. It remains Japan's major religion alongside Buddhism. Yay.
Shinto is not a way of explaining the world, but matters the rituals that enable human beings to communicate with kami. All Shinto gods are called kami, but they are not known as gods, but as spirits. Kami are sacred spirits which take the form of things and concepts important to life, such as wind, rain, mountains, trees, rivers, and fertility. Shinto has no founder or a ruler/god.
This project was brought to you by
Buddhism is a popular religion to about 300 million people around the world. The word comes from Buddhi, which means to awaken, which is like to brighten. It began at around 2,500 years ago when Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha himself, awakened at the age of 35.
Buddhism isn't really a religion but more a way of life. It has 3 major rules: to lead a moral life, to be mindful and aware of thoughts and actions, and to develop wisdom of understanding. Buddhists don't really follow anybody like a god. They just live their own lives and try and be happy. Siddhartha Gautama was the Buddhist. He realized that wealth and luxury did not mean that you would be happy. So he explored the different teachings, religions, and stuff of the day to find the key to human happiness. After 6 years of study and meditation, he finally was enlightened.
Buddhism originated in India between the 6th and 4th century BC, and there are about 500 million Buddhists in the world, making it one of the biggest religions in the world. Buddhism is more of a teaching rather than a religion, about reaching the right mind. Buddhism has 3 types of minds: confused mind, the normal mind, and the right mind. The confused mind is when your mind is fixated on one thing or another. The normal mind focuses on nothing but is aware of everything. The right mind is to be enlightened, to act with a normal mind, without considering personal safety or duty. It is the goal of a Buddhist to have the enlightened mind. The Dalai Lama is the head of the Buddhist community. He can have the enlightened mind. In ancient Japan, after it was introduced, Buddhism was one of the biggest religions behind Shintoism and Confucianism.